The Happy Ghast has finally made its way into the game. Or, well, not exactly. It's currently only available on snapshot versions, but it is set to be officially released into the game in the summer drop, which is in June this year. And that makes me really excited. So let's get right into it. In order to tame a Happy Ghast, you either need to find it deep in the nether, right around these bone structures, or alternatively you can just craft it by using this recipe. But we all know that nobody is gonna be crafting this little thing. I'm sure that everyone is gonna go out of their way to rescue as many little ghasts as possible. But once you find one of these, you don't need a pickaxe or anything to take it. You can just break it using your bare hands. Then all you need to do is go back into the overworld and place it into a water source like this. And you even get an achievement for that. Stay hydrated. And you can see the hydration particles appear above it. And over time, this little fella is actually gonna change his expression. So currently, he is a sad dried ghast. And to fully hydrate one, you need around 20 minutes. One full Minecraft day. And there it is! 20 minutes later, it turns into the little Ghastling. And it is the most adorable mob I've ever seen in the game. Just have a listen to this. This is the best update we have ever gotten. I am so excited about this update. I literally cannot wait for it to go live. So now, obviously, this is just the Ghastling. It is the baby version of the Happy Ghast, meaning that over time, and by over time I mean exactly 20 minutes, this little cute fella is going to grow into the Happy Ghast. Or alternatively, if you don't want to wait another 20 minutes, you can just grab some snowballs and feed the Ghastling until it grows into the Happy Ghast. Just like so. Oh my god. Look at it. Let's get into the mechanics of the Happy Ghast. You can stand on top of it like solid blocks. Both the Happy Ghast and the little Ghastling have a radius of blocks that they know as their home. And that radius spans from 16 to 32 blocks, and it is either the place that you revived them in or the place that you last interacted with them. They are going to try and follow the player, but if they cannot find the player, they are just going to start following other friendly mobs around the area, with the exception of aquatic mobs. Also, now using leather, glass, and differently colored wool, you can craft the harness. There is 16 different variants of them in the game, and in this video I'm going to be choosing the blue harness because my favorite color is blue. So once you have your harness, you can just go to your Happy Ghast, and it's actually gonna start floating towards you if you have the harness equipped into your inventory slot. But as soon as I move it away, you can see that the Happy Ghast just goes back to roaming around. And then when I have it in my hand, it's gonna start floating to me again. So to place a harness onto the Happy Ghast, you just simply right click on it, and look at that! It's adorable! Oh my god! Obviously this means that you can now ride the Happy Ghast by right clicking again. And yes, it does put its little goggles on its eyes to protect them while you're flying. I literally cannot stop smiling at this. Oh my god, it makes me so happy. So what is the purpose of the Happy Ghast, you may be wondering? Well, building and transportation. And the transportation part is amazing, but we'll get to that in a bit. First, I want to focus on the building. So let's say, for example, that this tree over here is my house, and you know, it's pretty high up in the sky, and I don't want to pillar up to it with dirt or scaffolding, so I can just get on top of my Happy Ghast, float up to that point, and then just build whatever I want. You should, however, keep in mind that the ghast is 4x4 blocks wide and tall. If I bump into this tree here, it remains a solid entity. But that's not really an issue, because when I'm in first person, I can get pretty close to my build without struggling. Therefore, building should not be impacted negatively in any way whatsoever. Now let's get to the weird side of the Happy Ghasts, which is the controls. To go up, you can either hold spacebar like this, or just use the WASD keys and look into the direction that you want to go to. So for example, if you want to go down, you look down and then you press W. Or you can look up and press S, like so. You can also move sideways by pressing the A or D keys. Look at that, you can basically strafe like this. And you can use the W key to freely move to any direction as long as you are looking at it. So if you're used to building in the game in creative mode, you're gonna have a little struggle because, you know, space gets you up, but shift doesn't get you down. It instead dismounts you. But I think that's something that you can get used to very quickly. And you can actually put them on a lead. And if you combine that with the elytra, you can transport them faster throughout your world. And speaking of leads, they also received a huge update in this snapshot. Let me demonstrate. There is a couple bees flying around here. I'm going to take this one on a lead, and then we are going to find the other one that was also flying around. There it is. Now I'm going to hold shift and right click on this one, and bada bim, bada bam. And you can do this with any kinds of mobs, by the way. I think almost endlessly. And obviously to remove it, you need to shear the lead away. Now these are sheep, so they do get affected by the shears already, so I wonder how this is gonna work. Okay, there we go. So shearing them will not cut away their wool, but instead remove the lead. Now here is the best part about this. This was a surprising discovery to me, but apparently a lot of people don't know that you can actually put leads on boats. And yes, just the same way as you do with the mobs, you can hook these up together. And if you want to remove them, same method. You just use the shears. And now, since the introduction of the flying ghast, if you lead a boat like this, and then you walk up to the Happy Ghast. Again, by holding shift and right click, you can do this. And just look at that. Our adorable Happy Ghast is now carrying around a boat. And it looks amazing, just like in the Minecraft movie. This is a perfect addition to the game because it makes transportation of mobs the easiest thing ever. This is the villager, also known as the worst mob in the game, for me personally. So up until this point, if you wanted to have villagers around your build, you would have to find a villager like this and then get him on a boat and painfully row the boat across the land. Well, no more! With this new addition to the game, you can just attach the boat with a villager on your Happy Ghast and just transport the villagers like so. It's still a very slow method of transportation. This is actually the top speed of the Happy Ghast. But just look at that. It's such an amazing sight. And you don't have to deal with navigating through rough terrain. And you can also transport mobs that cannot go into boats. You can still attach a lead to it and then take it over to your Happy Ghast. And it is the exact same thing. You just hold shift and then you right click on the ghast. And look at that. You are now transporting both a villager using a boat and a horse, a mob that cannot fit inside of a boat. And if you're worried about a limit on how many mobs you can transport at once, I don't think there is need for such concerns, because just look at that. That's a lot of mobs over there. And the best part, of course, is that you can actually attach two Happy Ghasts to each other, meaning that you can also transport an army of Happy Ghasts. This is absolutely amazing. You also cannot breed the Happy Ghasts by any means. The only way of getting them is to craft them or rescue them. But there is no limit to how many you can have floating around your base. And you don't even have to worry about them flying away, since they have a home area that they're just gonna endlessly float around in. So you can basically have 16 of these fellas, all in different colored harnesses, just flying around your base, adding extra life to your build. I cannot wait for that. This makes me so happy. And this video doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's just me yapping about the Happy Ghast. But I really wanted to share my excitement for this new mob. Minecraft is truly the best game ever.